What if those eerie tales are valid instead of fiction, and the ghostly beings we've heard so much about are real beings captured on CCTV? These are not movie effects or myths. These are real moments caught on camera that show the existence of the inexplicable. In this terrifying journey, we'll watch actual footage of ghosts caught on camera, eerie moments that don't make sense and that leave us wondering what's going on. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more haunting stories that'll make your spine tingle. So this place in South Australia is called the North Kapunda Hotel. As you may know, it is on the list of one of the country's most famous and active haunted locations. There are rumors that this has been going on for years. Heavy footfall in hotel corridors during the night, voices in the acoustics, even apparition sightings. Sounds wild, right? Anyway, a journalist went there recently. The hotel owners were selling the place, so the journalist was there to conduct a standard interview. Or so they believed. Nothing out of the ordinary occurred. While shooting the corridor of the hotel upstairs, they got something entirely unexpected. What can be referred to as a picture of a real ghost. Here's what happened. One of the former staff members who used to lead ghost tours at the hotel told the journalist to watch their pictures. So-called energy balls or ethereal figures may be photographed at this site. The journalist didn't pay much attention to that, but a glowing white ball was seen moving in the hallway when the shots were being reviewed. It was on one location in one picture, and then became decisively to the front in the next photo. Creepy, right? When they presented the photos to some of their other friends and colleagues, these people displayed all sorts of gestures. Some people firmly believed it was a ghost, while others attributed it to a simple trick of the light of the camera malfunction. Nevertheless, the feeling remained that the journalist had gotten something very creepy indeed. However, this is not the first time that people have come forward and reported seeing or hearing things at the North Kapunda Hotel. This has been a business hub for over a century and has hosted its fair share of scary legends. Most of them are often, and they can even hold ghost tours and paranormal events at this place. But this photo, even cynics sit up and take notice of it. Of course, not everyone was convinced. Some thought it could have been a lens flare or dust reflecting light. However, some believed it was genuine. In either case, it had created another layer of intrigue for a hotel with enough stories to give anyone goosebumps. For paranormal investigators or those who fancy a good old-fashioned fright, this could be a place to visit, if you were brave enough. These stories and new pictures added to the hotel's history make it a favorite for anyone interested in the supernatural. Well, let me tell you that back in 2007, something decidedly odd occurred in the First Judicial District Courthouse in Santa Fe, New Mexico. An object captured on a security camera probably raised many eyebrows. A glowing object that floats on the camera monitor. Of course, everyone realized, perhaps we've just seen a true ghost. The documentary was recorded and shared on the internet and went viral. Within days, it was gathering thousands of views. People were hooked. Some claimed it was a spirit. Another's opinion it could be something or other, such as a ball lightning and other related activities. Some people said they saw faces in that glowing light, which made it even scarier than all the rest. Not every guest remained an unbroken believer in the paranormal. To this, we have Benjamin Radford, a skeptic and a deputy editor at the Skeptical Inquirer magazine. He decided to uncover the mystery to determine whether there was any cause for it. Lastly, Radford began by eliminating what he considered to be myths about fear. Was it a reflection that we once were a people with a first-name basis relationship in the United States? Is there a problem with the camera lens in one of the versions, or even a prank? None of those fit. To test this, Radford had to be creative. He put ladybugs in front of camera lenses under similar lighting, and guess what? His experiment's glowing, moving object looked like the ghost seen in the courthouse video. They realized this because the light from the camera was magnifying the insect, making it resemble an alien orb by moving. That ghost was most likely an insect and not an apparition. It may not be as scary as a ghost, but it all made sense once you saw the experiments. What we believe to be paranormal is frequently invalid, and this story proves it's true. As much as we like to pretend that ghosts are real and enjoy a good fright, people sometimes like to clear up these mysteries. In Hampton Courthouse in London, which had many myths regarding ghosts in the year 2003, something strange was recorded by CCTV. The video depicted a person wandering through a hallway, and they did not pay any attention to the recording. This puzzled everyone because the figure looked exactly like a man in a long robe, who was strolling happily with his normal gait in the hallway. Shortly after, many people started wondering if it was a ghost. The ghost of Catherine Howard, the fifth wife of King Henry VIII, who met her fate in 1542. Hampton Court Palace is not just any historic building. It's a place that has a history of betrayal, scandal, and royal drama. Catherine Howard is among the most renowned wives of the British King Henry VIII, and their tragic story became famous too. Catherine was beheaded after being charged with adultery, and since her death, she's been reported to be seen in different parts of the palace. The apparition described by the gas worker was seen in the haunted gallery, which has always been believed to be the site where Catherine's spirit cannot find peace. Considering its past, it was not a shock that many people thought the figure captured on the CCTV camera was her ghost. However, the video recorded in 2003 depicted what looked like an apparition in a long robe and a hood, walking along the corridor in complete darkness. The figure was recorded strolling as if it had no idea it was being filmed. Audiences were hooked instantly to the image, and many concluded that this was a ghost on camera, mainly because of the palace's reputation. Knowledge of a ghost of a royal from the 16th century still wandering in the palace turned the tale into a gloomy mystery. As may be expected, the figure contributed to the fire, and many people thought the figure had the shape of a face. But not all people believed that this was a sign of a ghost. Specialists started to investigate and discuss other options. There were theories that it could have been somebody who visited the palace and dressed up for a historical performance or a play. Someone suggested that it may have been a reflection from the window or an optical illusion. Nevertheless, the issue could not be resolved by merely watching the CCTV footage, and speculation continued. The same was witnessed in the Hampton Court Palace in 2015. This time, the figure that appeared was a man dressed in a robe. Some people started to doubt if the figure in the footage was not a creation of computer-generated imagery. Some of the people said the images could have been produced by an iPhone application to insert characters into real-life scenarios. This idea was adopted, making people think the earlier footage might be a fake. So, what's the reality behind these terrifying stories? Are they illusions, or do they have a genuine backhand story? No one knows, as the mystery of Hampton remains unsolved. Moving to the next story on our list, the Tower of London is one of the most famous places in England. It is renowned for its history and known for various ghost stories. One of the most horrifying stories was about the ghost of Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII, who was executed at the tower in 1536. People say that her spirit roams in the tower to this day. Moreover, she was charged with adultery, incest, and treason, which were most probably false to enable King Henry VIII to marry Jane Seymour, who he expected to give him a male child. Anne was beheaded, and her death started her connection with the Tower of London. There have been sightings of Anne's ghost at the tower for many years, especially at the site where she was beheaded. Her spirit was seen dressed in a white gown, with her head tucked under her arm. Some have even said that they heard her crying for dying at such an age. In recent years, the Tower of London had nothing to do with the locals, but something happened in 2007 that got everyone's attention. In 2007, a CCTV camera in the tower's prison area recorded strange footage of what many viewers stated it was the ghost of Anne Boleyn. The footage appears to show a shadowy figure moving through a cell. However, the camera observed the area where the prisoners were confined several centuries ago was first focused on an empty cell. Next, some nearly indiscernible movement is caught in the periphery of the frame. A man on the far side of the room appears to be shifting. The figure seemed to move smoothly on the floor, and it did not have a body. That was why some people believed that the figure might be a ghost of Anne Boleyn, who was imprisoned there before she was beheaded. The experts who examined the footage of the event could not determine the cause of this unusual appearance. That it could be cast by the presence of something the eye could not discern made many people think supernatural powers caused it. Some people usually take a different view and believe it could have been an illusion or mechanical failure. Nevertheless, it is still quite mysterious for those with crazy thoughts about paranormal phenomenon. The Queen Mary, a luxurious British ocean liner that sailed the seas from 1936 to 1967, is currently a hotel and museum in Long Beach, California. But despite being elegant, it's also one of the most haunted places in America. Over the years, many staff members and guests have reported feeling supernatural activities around them. Queen Mary's story started with a luxury liner sailing the Atlantic with many opulent passengers. Yet, her fate altered during the Second World War when she was transformed into a transport ship with soldiers to the theater of war. It is at this time that many people died, either in accidents or due to the ravages of war. After the war, the Queen Mary continued to sail as a passenger liner, but became famous as a haunted ship. Let's talk about the famous story linked with Queen Mary, the Lady in White, which was said to have appeared in various parts of the ship, most especially in the first-class staterooms. She was referred to as a beautiful lady in a white dress, moving through walls and disappearing as she came. This was not the only paranormal encounter. Other apparitions are soldier ghosts, child ghosts, and the spirit of an engine room crew member who died while on board. Moreover, in 2016, a CCTV camera installed in the Queen Mary's engine room captured something strange and unusual. It was something like a light, or most likely a shadow that moved in front of the camera. At first, it looks like an illusion of a staff member moving around the building, but no one is there when the lens zooms in. The figure gets up and wanders around. The second it crosses a ray of light, it vanishes. This footage interested both sides of the paranormal community and skeptics. Some people think that this shadow is one of the workers who perished in a disaster that occurred when the Queen Mary ship rammed into another boat during the war. It is generally believed today that the spirit of the man still roams around the engine room where he died. Some people say the shadow could have been a person, but no one is in the video when this figure disappears. Moreover, this was not the only video filmed on board the Queen Mary. Many people, both guests and employees, claim to have experienced paranormal phenomena recorded on video, flashes and doors that open and close on their own. However, this specific CCTV footage was still one of the most convincing evidence of a haunting on the ship. Other paranormal investigators who visited Queen Mary and its legends also believe that the ship's violent enumeration of war deaths may have caused the haunting. Ships are considered repositories of energy, particularly negative energy, if they have a dark history, and the Queen Mary has that in spades. The shabby, dimly lit corridors and rooms of the ship are suitable for a ghost story. On the other hand, skeptics say that identifying the strange figures and lights can be due to the effect of low light conditions, or the sound and structure of the ship. The lengthy chronology of the boat, which includes numerous sightings and reports of eerie occurrences, only tends to add to the myths, which makes sorting through the legends and myths almost impossible. The Queen Mary is one of the most popular haunted places to this date, and the CCTV footage from 2016 confirms it. Whether one believes in ghosts or not, many will agree that there is no better topic than shining light on such a historic vessel and watching mysterious happenings captured on camera. The Myrtle Plantation in St. Francisville is one of the most popular haunted legends in the United States of America, famous for its mysterious past and real-life ghost stories. The plantation has attracted people worldwide who want to see these spirits. According to people, there are many ghost sightings in Myrtle's plantation, and some can proudly present pictures of things that go bump in the night. One of the most famous such meetings is the one with an unknown man recorded by CCTV cameras in 2001. Additionally, the Myrtle's plantation house was constructed in 1796 and has an unfortunate story. General David Bradford once owned it, but the plantation is most famous for the apparition of a woman named Chloe. Based on the story, Chloe was an enslaved person on the plantation with whom the man of the house was having an affair. Once Chloe was found spying on people's conversations, she had her ear cut off as a punishment. In this column, she laced a birthday cake meant for the family with poison to eliminate the master. However, she intoxicated his wife and 2 of his children instead. Following that catastrophe, it was believed that Chloe roamed through the plantation, and her apparition looked like a woman wearing a green turban. She was said to haunt the house, and people have seen and many people have heard inhuman voices of children crying and doors slamming. Eventually, the Myrtle's plantation was recognized as one of the most popular haunted places in the United States that people and enthusiasts of paranormal activities visited. The best evidence of hauntings at Myrtle's plantation came in 2001, when a security camera in the plantation's main house captured what appeared to be the ghost of Chloe. The video recorded a white fog or an outline of a figure wandering in the house. Looking at the surface, the video appeared just another surveillance camera footage. However, upon moving aside as the figure passes the shape, one understands there seemed to be something strange about the shape. It lacked discernible shape, and instead of walking, it glided. This figure also faded right away, making the audience more confused. However, the video was shot in the evening when the plantation was closed to the public. The footage was analyzed to the smallest detail, and many paranormal researchers have identified this video as one of the best evidence of an apparition. The critics have said it could be an illusion, an effect of the light, or even a technical equipment failure. Nonetheless, the believers in ghosts returned to the ghost story, claiming that the misty figure is still the spirit of Chloe, who had a chance to roam the plantation hall up to this moment. Today, the Myrtle's plantation continues to attract those interested in the supernatural. The plantation's tragic history, the chilling ghost stories, and the undeniable evidence caught on camera have made it a popular spot for ghost tours and paranormal investigations. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the stories and footage from Myrtle's plantation are enough to give anyone a chill. Supernatural power will remain a secret to society, and we will always wonder what is out there. Such experiences recall that life has moments that may never be explained to those who experience them. Who knows what other species could be hiding and might be waiting to be found? If you found this video scary, then subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit that like button and stick around for more terrifying stories that will make you petrified.